Hello, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. And it is Tuesday at noon, so it's time for lunch with Lori. Hey, guys. Good to see you. Hi, Carol. Hi, Betty. Hey, Marlene. Hi, Shirley. Good to see everyone. Thanks for coming on with me. It's always more fun to chat with you guys than it is to talk to myself. Right? Not that I don't do plenty of that when I'm working in my studio alone, but I enjoy spending time with all of you. So thank you so much for being here. I've got two fun folds to share with you today. I kept crossing the date out because I kept putting things in front of them. And then I realized, oh, the paper that I used is retiring. So perhaps we should get those in before it's too late because they're really good. They're really good fun folds. So I think you're going to like them a lot. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping, as we always do at the beginning of my videos. So just a reminder that the paper pumpkin that is coming for May is outdoor themed cards. So if you're like me and masculine cards are just the thing that always falls to the wayside until you absolutely need them, this is going to be a great kit. As a matter of fact, right now I have two on order because I think they're going to be perfect for creating masculine cards. And of course, we'll do a video with it when it gets here with the alternates. It has some free stickers in it. It has nine outdoor themed cards, and it's going to have a new in color inside. So I'm excited about that too, because I was playing with the in colors this week. I created my first product-based class, which we'll be announcing as soon as the catalog goes live. And I think you'll really like it. So just a hint, it's with the Cheerful Daisies bundle. But anyway, so I've been playing with the in colors. I'm falling in love with them, as I knew I would. Hello, Debbie. You got stood up. Oh, my goodness. Well, my lucky day that you get to be here then, right? I love that. Thank you, Betty, for sharing. I mean, I don't love that you got stood up, but I love that you're here with us. So anyway, you have until May 10th, if you're not a subscriber, to subscribe. And you can do that through my Paper Pumpkin link, which I'll put in the description below after the video. You can do just a month to month, or you can get a prepaid subscription. Little tip, the Paper Pumpkin is going up with the new catalog. So prepaid subscription might be the way to go if you want to save a little bit of money. But I do think that this is going to be a really good one. And I love the box itself, right? It'll be perfect. And then I wanted to remind you that I have a couple of product shares going on as the new catalog is launching. May 2nd is the day. And I've got the designer paper share going on with two options. One is all the pretty papers, which is all our standard 12x12 and 6x6 packs of designer series paper. You're going to get 166 pieces of 6x6 designer series paper for just $52. If you're long distance from me, then there is the charge of $9 for the shipping, right? The priority shipping. And my goal is to order all of the papers on May 2nd, so that if you are interested in this, you will need to register by then. The registration link for that is below the video. And then you can also add on all the specialty papers, which are usually like our foils and our, different styles of papers. You'll get one piece of each of those for another 25 sheets, and that is $16 to add on. So, or $16 if you just want specialty paper. So keep that in mind. This is a great way to try all the papers before you buy a full pack. You get, for the 12x12s, you're going to get two pieces of each. I think you do for the 6x6s as well. Yeah, I did add that in. So you get two pieces of each design. That's how we get to 166 pieces, right? Of the designer series papers. The specialty papers, you only get one. And the logic behind that is that typically specialty papers you're using to punch out or die cut something, or maybe add a strip or an accent. So you don't need two pieces. And plus they're usually single-sided, so you don't have to make a choice, right? With the designer papers, you get two because then you don't have to make a choice. You have both. You can do full card backgrounds and you can play to your heart's content and decide which ones you want to buy full packs of. So again, May 2nd registration deadline for that, 52 for the designer series papers, and then another 16 for the add-ons of the specialty papers. And then I have two new color clubs running because this year we had the color refresh. So the In Color Club runs for 5 months. Sorry, it is $55 a month, plus the postage, of course. And then the ink pad, the ink refill, a full pack of cardstock, a full roll of ribbon, the in color dot embellishments, the in color treat bags, the Stampin' Blends combo pack, and the designer series paper are all in your monthly goodies. Plus, you're going to get some free gifts from me, which are going to include the Stampin' Right marker, maybe the jute, things like that. So that runs from May through what? May, June, July, August, September. And each month you would get all of those goodies in your assigned color for that month. And I just randomly draw the colors and create a little chart so I don't get lost. And then I have the core color club. So we have 11 colors changing out of our core colors, but 4 of them are brand new. Lots of the other ones, or all of the other ones, are returning in colors that some of us may already have because we don't get rid of our inks when they leave us. So I'm doing just the 4 ink colors for 4 months. So that would be May through August. You get the ink pad, the ink refill, a full pack of cardstock, and the Stampin' Blends combo. Along with 2 months, you're going to get some freebies from me. And that cost is, I believe, $40 per month plus postage if we're shipping. So you loved in the color club? Well, hopefully you're going to come do it with us again this month or this time, Shirley. So both of those are great ways to get your inks, spread it out, spread the cost out, right? It's kind of like a little bit of Stampin' Up layaway there. Each month you're going to get a goodie package, and then at the end you'll have all the colors of the in colors, and you'll have the 4 brand new core colors. All right. And then the last housekeeping is the cards that we made with Around the Bend last time we were together, last Tuesday. And the winner of this is Sandy West. And Sandy, I don't know if you're on and maybe just haven't said anything, but I don't believe I have your address, Sandy. So if you hear this or see this, please private message me through my Facebook page, Lori Staley Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, your address so that I can get those in the mail to you. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Okay, I think we're ready to do some fun folds. Also, guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and comment. Even if you're watching the video after the fact, go ahead and give us a comment because you get entered into the drawing for doing those things. Share the video. And of course, please, please, please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. All of those things help YouTube know that you like what I'm seeing and allows me to do more and get a little bit more visual out there. Okay, so first one that we're going to do is an accordion card. I love this card. So I'm using lots of the 22, 24 in colors on this. We're using Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky. Oh, there's my notes. That helps keep me in line when I design a month ahead. And the flat back pearls, which right now, until I get my hands on all the new embellishments, the flat back pearls are, I think, my absolute favorite embellishment right now. I adore them. So anyway, this is the card that we're going to make. And the stamp sets that I'm using, of course, are Petal Park, which is carrying over into the annual catalog. Yay, right? And Amazing Year, which unfortunately retired and is already gone. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I did this over a month ago, so my apologies, but I'm sure you have a For You, which is what I used here, and a Birthday Wishes that you could substitute if you wanted to recreate this project, right? Okay. So, Starry Sky. We're going to start with Starry Sky. This piece is 5.5 by 11, and it's got lots of score lines. So it was scored at 4, and we're going to crease this as we go. I did do the scoring in advance. Scored at 4. And then scored at 5 3/4. And then scored at 7.5. And then 9 1/4. Okay, so that's how we get the accordion. We also have another piece of Starry Sky that is 6 by 3, and we scored that at 3, just in half. Let's do some layering. So the paper that I'm using is the Flowers and More Hostess paper. And if you follow me on Facebook, we just played with this paper on Sunday night as well for our interactive stamping. And I'm going to pop a layer of white. Can you see how just adding that layer of white makes that paper kind of pop a little bit better? So there it is. And it's pretty, just like that. But I think it just brightens up the card and makes it pop a little bit to add just that simple layer of basic white. So let's do that. So who's eagerly waiting the release of the new catalog? Anybody? Anybody anxious for that? By the way, Shirley, did you get your package? I'm hoping. I know we've had some problems in the past trying to get those out to you. So then I have the strips here, right? So that basic white was 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then the designer series paper is just 1/8 of an inch smaller on each side. And then we have our basic white strips that we're going to put on the accordion portion along with our designer series paper. So these are, sorry, oh, my voice just went away. These are, I'll tell you in 1 second, 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. And we have 2 of 2 different patterns. And actually, I just used the same sheet and flipped it, right? Hi, Corinne, thank you. So we're doing 2 with the same pattern that we have in the back. And then 2 with the opposite pattern. Goodness gracious. I ran out, I think, the last time we were together. What is that about? And I swore I put a brand new one in there. But now we'll know I do because we're going to do it together, right? Oh, I know. Hey. Almost 20 years ago. It'll be 20 years in August. I signed up to be a demonstrator. And my intention was I was getting in for the discount for 3 months. And then I was hopping out, Debbie. And 20 years later, it is now my full-time job. I left corporate behind almost 6 years ago now, which that doesn't seem possible either. It's been 6 years since I left my corporate job. But yeah, so yes, perks for being a demonstrator are amazing. We get early access, we get a discount, we get to work it as much or as little as we want. Can't beat it. All right, so we've got that. Now, you could alternate these, but I didn't want to end up with these 2 matching. So I'm going to put my 2 with the Orchid Oasis and the Fresh Freesia pattern on the inside. It actually looks very complicated. It's one of those wow cards where somebody's going to be like, holy cow, but it's actually kind of simple, isn't it? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, that'll be about right for me too. I figure I mean, not that you have to retire from Stampin' Up, because goodness, you could do it as long as you want to. But I'm sure I'll hit 25 years. All right, so we've got all of our layers on, just like that. You can see how that folds up so nicely, right? And then we're going to bring in our white squares, and we're going to do a little stamping. I'm going to start with the piece in the back. And I've got all but one of the 2022-2024 in color. So I have Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, and Parakeet Party. And for the back, Orchid Oasis and the Sweet Sorbet, grab a piece of scrap paper here. Okay. So we're just going to stamp a couple of those cute little flowers in the top corner. And then the birthday wishes. Right there. Don't put your fingers into the ink pad. We have all kinds of action. So let me clean those little flowers. Don't want to muddy the inks, right? And we're going to bring in Parakeet Party. We're going to start with that because we're stamping the large leafy image in the Parakeet Party. And anytime I have a larger stamp, I like to take my ink pad. I'm probably bouncing you all over the place, aren't I? Take my larger ink pad to the to the stamp. That's the word I'm looking for. Go figure. So let's flip it this way. I think I'll have better space. Better spacing. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. And then, of course, in that petal park, we have the flowers that are going to go in there perfectly. They're all attached. And even if you're tempted when you get a set, Sweet Sorbet flowers. And then we're going to add in just a little bit of Orchid Opulence. So I'm pulling all my colors from that designer series paper. If you struggle with that, matching up your colors, just look at your DSP and it will tell you exactly what colors to use. And then we're going to do the For You. In the Starry Sky. And ideally straight. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's simply going to get mounted on our 6x3 that we scored at 3 inches. And then we're going to mount this so that it encompasses the accordion fold, if you will. About like that. You can use tear and tape. I'm just going to go with the seal. I feel like our seal is nice and strong. It'll hold everything in place. I did 2 strips side by side. And I'm not going to go too far in, but far enough that we can get a little bit of that purple on this side as well. And then we're going to press that real good, burnish, if you will, with the bone folder to make sure we have nice adhesion. And there is, and you could put another panel on here if you wanted to and add, adjust that up a little bit. And I've shown this trick a couple of times. Of course, when you mount this square, you want it to be behind the focal image, right? So it's not detracting from your focal image. So you're going to lay it on the back of that piece, and you're going to close the back panel down on top of it. And we can do a little burnishing there as well. And then it's perfectly aligned so that you don't have to worry about it being seen before you're ready for it to be seen. Okay. I'm going to grab some pearls, those flat back pearls that I said is my favorite right now. And I had just one of the large ones left, which was perfect because I only needed one of the big guys to go in the center of our large flower. And then we're going to do two smaller ones in the center of our smaller flowers. And there we go. How cute is that? And if you wanted to punch the sweet sorbet flowers out with your punch, your coordinating punch, you could absolutely do that and then pop them up. I just chose to make this a simple fun fold, even though it doesn't look that way, and just stamp them directly on there. All right. So that's project number one. Hey, Carol. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I like that one. I like that fold. Because like I said, it is a wow, but it also is not real complicated once you have the measurements. All right. And then continuing with that Flowers and More Designer Series paper, I have a bay window card using Share a Milkshake. So see how this sits up. Okay. Isn't that cute? And then it just opens up like that. So that's a fun card. It folds nice and flat to mail. But then, and so this is one that you probably will want to put some instructions in, right? And then that just pops the little ice cream cone right up. And actually, as I look at this, oh, it's pink. I might have to do another one today and make it in a different color because we're celebrating my nephew, who's 22's birthday. And I don't know that he would appreciate a pink card. All right. So let me pull my pieces. Get my other things out of the way. All right, so I don't know if that's even in camera if I lay it right there, but that's what we're going to try until I bring the paper trimmer in and it's in the way, right? So I'm going to slide it over here. Okay, so we have a piece of polished pink that is 4 1/4 by 11. So the funny story about polished pink is when this paper first came out, this cardstock color first came out, I'm like, oh, I'll never use that. And I'm going to miss this color so badly. So I'm going to score this at 3/8. And I'm using the left side. That's one of the things I love about this paper trimmer is we have measurements up to 1.5 inches on the left side. So it's much easier for me to hold this larger section and score that at 3/8 than it would be for me to try to line it up over here. You could do it, but you have a lot more surface to work with and less likely to bump it out of the way, right? Okay, so now that I've done the 3/8, though, I am going to switch it around because now I'm going up to 1 7/8. And then 3 5/8. 5 1/8. 5 1/2. So again, that was 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8, and 5 1/2. And it should come, oh, and then, yeah, 5 1/2 was the last one. And it should come out nice and even, just like a regular card front would. Okay, so this piece is 4 by 10, I believe. Yes, 4 by 10. I'm just going to cut 1 inch off the end. Oh, I'm trying to read my notes because I didn't do this one in a while. So if I cut 1 inch off, then I should have a 9-inch piece. We're going to hang on to that 1 inch. We're going to use that. We're going to cut it at 4.5. So we're cutting it in half. So 4 by 10, cut off 1 inch. Then you've got 4 by 9, and you're going to cut that in half at 4.5 inches. And then we're going to do 1/4, which is that side skinny one. I'm going to lay this up here so you can see where the pieces are going, right? And then we're going to do 1 1/4. That one's going there next. Then 1 1/2. I'm going to flip it around because again, I want to work on this side, but you could keep going the other way. That's in the center. 1 1/4. And then we have our 1 inch piece that we cut off at the beginning. Okay, so let's put these over here in order. I'm going to score. Well, I did score. I'm going to crease with my bone folder all our score lines to make our bay window, and then we're going to go ahead and mount those. Out of the way. So I'm going to start from the center fold. This is a little bit like a book binding. Apparently I did something silly with my bone folder. Sure did. Okay. I think I'm going to have to grab another one because, oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to crease that. And then the next one. So this is a valley. Then we're going to do a mountain. Then another mountain. And then a valley. So you start and end on a valley. Doesn't matter which way you go from. And then you've got 2 mountains. Okay. So this piece, I'm going to need a silicone pad to add our adhesive. You could use your Tombow liquid glue if you prefer. Yes, the ice cream, the milkshake set is a good stamp set, and you carried over. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. And of course, if you don't have the flowers and more, because I do know that was a hostess set, one of the hostess items that you could get, or I should have looked to see if that was sold out. You can substitute other. I just thought this paper went perfect with the pink and the ice cream and all of that. So. And we have our 2 pieces that are so I'm just making sure that my top and bottom edge are as aligned as I can make them. Doesn't mean they're perfect, right? But if you've got an ice cream lover in your life, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. So this piece is eventually going to end up in here, but we're going to put that in there with a piece of foam tape. Okay. And it looks like this. But before we do that, we're going to stamp our inside layer and mount that. Okay. So it's going to go in here. I'm using, this one also carried the Wildlife Wonder stamp set. This is a great masculine set as well. And I love this sending birthday wishes. I like the font. I like the simplicity of that greeting. We are going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. Onto our card. I was sure glad Blackberry Bliss didn't go anywhere. So much so I just laid my hand in it. Well, I always tell my ladies, if you don't have ink on your hands, then I know you're not a true stamper. Because if you look at me at any given moment, I probably have ink on my hands. Move that over there because I'm right on the edge over here. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to stamp the celebrate on the little tag while I have that ink open. Celebrate comes from Share a Milkshake. Okay, here's a true test. I think I'm high on the paper. Yep, a little bit. Let's try that again. I'll go with that one. Oh my goodness. That sounds yummy though. That does sound yummy. Yeah, my husband, he could put away a gallon of ice cream in a sitting in the old days, but he's also gotten much healthier and is watching what he eats. So now we make ice cream with our mixes that we have. I got him a Dash ice cream maker for, I can't remember if it was Valentine's Day or his birthday or something. Okay, so now we have that in there. Now it'll be okay to go ahead and seal in between that little skinny fold. So I'm going to do that with the Tombow because I'm afraid the seal will be a little too big. And then you can see that when we put this strip on, we're going to want to make sure to only put that foam strip on the right side. So we have room for this to slide in. Okay, so I'm going to grab that. Fortunately, that's within arm's reach because I grabbed it last night to use it and forgot to put it back. It looks like it's time for some more. I'm down to the outside borders. And yes, you can use your outside borders on these. So we'll put that on there. We'll trim that off. Okay. Never wait. It's just like the, oh, thanks, Marlene. It's just like the dimensionals, right? We use the bones of the dimensionals. We use the bones of our foam tape too. Pull that backing off. Make sure the foam tape is to the right side. You're going to line that up with the edge of the basic white. Okay. And now you have your bay window. So now let's work on our ice cream cone and layer. I already embossed the white because I had the ice cream cone and I thought that crosshatch from the basics, this is like my favorite of the three. I'll use all three of them, but this is my favorite one. But I thought that crosshatch mimicked the ice cream cone. So I used that. I did emboss it. Now the basics folders that are in an online exclusive in my store are on back order right now. You can't order them, but they are scheduled to be in the week of May 1st. Like anything, that can change, but that is the anticipated return date for those. So we're just going to mount that. And then I did pre-cut. Look, I gave myself an extra shot for the salad tray just in case I needed it. But I did pre-cut our ice cream scoops, and I'm using the polished pink and the blackberry bliss. So we've got strawberry and black cherry. I don't know. White House cherry. Did anybody ever hear of White House cherry ice cream? That was, I think, my mom's favorite. When we were little kids, every Sunday we would go for a drive. And there was some dairy. I couldn't tell you now where it was. Conawago, maybe? I don't know. And I got nobody to ask at this point. Well, no, my brother was younger than me. He wouldn't remember. But anyway, we'd stop and we'd get ice cream. And Mom always got White House cherry. It was good. Okay, so this is the cold die that creates the ice cream cone. It's got the hash marks in it. So you could actually add ink to this and then cut it out. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. And then we're just going to add some around the edges to give it a little more detail. So this one will emboss and die cut at the same time. And I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but I can see that in the ice cream cone. It also gives you your crease lines, so you know exactly where to fold to create your ice cream cone. And I always have better luck when I fold the right side in and then the left side. I don't know if one's a little bit bigger than the other or what, but I am going to bring in, because I think when I made the original card, I used soft suede, but I want to try the pecan pie because I think the pecan pie on there is going to look really good. What do you think? So you could use a sponge dauber, you could use a sponge. None of those things are at my fingertips, but my blending brushes are. So this one's going to have a little bit more color to it than the original one, but that's okay. And I do think it looks really good. So my recommendation would be to pounce, because of course that's the left side that's going to show. Pounce your blending brush if you're using that off after you ink it up before you take it to your cardstock. I think pecan pie is going to become a favorite very, very quickly. So it's not quite cinnamon cider. I think cinnamon cider had more orange in it, but it sure does look like a great fall color too. And you know what? Can I find that brown brush? Let's just add a little bit up here on this edge as well. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. Put our ice cream scoops on. That's going to pop on there with a dimensional. With the diamond orientation. I'm like, something's not quite right there. So let me grab some dimensionals. I'm not sure I wanted two more, but sure, why not? And then, actually, I'm going to take this one off and pop it down here. And then our Celebrate is just going to slide right under there. And I'm not going to put that on with the dimensional, obviously. And I'm going to put my tape right there on that side. Ooh. We almost had a freeloader there. Did you see that? With the dimensional backings. Don't they go everywhere? Half the time they're on my cats. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Good luck. Have fun. And then this is just going to go right here in the center. Now you want to be careful when you're adding your adhesive, right? You want to stay in the center of your square, because if you go too far out, you could actually seal your card closed. So, but you have 1.5 inches there to play with. And I think that looks pretty good. And there we go. I didn't even put any bling on this card, but I think that is a great card. So cute. And it does stand up to display. So again, because you're going to have it folded that way, you can simply put the instructions in to slide the solid pink under the striped paper or whatever designation you want for your paper, under the left side of that, and then they'll know to display it like that. So there are our 2 projects today, both fun folds. Once you know the cutting and the scoring, these are not difficult fun folds to make, so I hope you'll try them. And if you do, let me know. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. Remember, you can register for my paper share, my color clubs, paper pumpkin, all of those things below. If you don't have a demonstrator in the US that you're working with, I would love to help you. Just let me know if you need a catalog or if you have any questions. And hopefully I'll see you next Tuesday right here with Lunch with Lori, or you can always find me over on my Facebook page, Lori Staley Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We're live there at 10 o'clock on Thursday mornings and again on Sunday nights at 8. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to get those last chance orders in too, because it's going away. Take care. Bye.